Hello, hello, all. Thank you for joining us again on the Almost Brothers podcast. Hey, will you do us a favor? If this podcast has meant something to you and encouraged you, will you consider becoming a monthly supporter? You could do $3, $5, $8, or $10 a month. What this does is this helps financially support the podcast so that we can continue to put out content and help better serve you. So if you would, down in the show notes, you can click the link, support, and become a monthly member. We love you. New episode coming your way.
Well, I hope so. That's what we plan on doing.
That is the plan.
I can't believe you took one of my last three. 1 out of 3 of my last frescoes.
Okay, first of all, they were offers.
It was fine.
A fixture dryer, so
I appreciate that.
kind
I
of
really
a trade.
do.
It's a barter system.
What is that? We're back in the 1600s. I didn't even know we were that low, but it's not surprising in this house.
Well, you have to replace them.
If Fresca comes through the door, it's like piranha in a fish tank. You drop a hamburger in there, it'll go crazy.
I've never seen piranhas like in real life. I've always wanted to see them like in real life. I never have.
I watched some dude on I think it was Instagram or something where he that's his big thing is teaching people about, because he has pet piranha.
Right.
So he'll feed them and be like, oh, today we're putting in sausage. And it he explains how they do, they'll swim up to it and kind of be checking it out. He's like, soon as one really gets a hold of it, then they all go crazy. And it was interesting. I'm like, 30 minutes go by. I'm like, why am I watching this video about piranhas? What in the world?
You're ever in the Amazon and you just need to know these things.
Just what in the world is, and it made me think, how the only kind of thing about them is movies. So it's somebody falls in and then they just instantly get, and I'm like, well, if they did that with this meat, they kind of, we're checking it out. I was like, I wonder if that's how it would be, or so it was interesting at least. Shout out to whoever it was.
Now that we got that figured out.
This show is not about piranhas today at all. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Almost Brothers podcast. Thank you for joining us yet again today. We love you and your faces. On this episode, we're going to be talking about a hard subject, a tough subject, staying consistent. Let's go. I really feel like we should get some lyrics and just sing it randomly one day. It's just did they upgrade their music? No, we're just singing. That's just us.
Just randomly singing.
Yep, that's just us.
Or not.
Or let's not do that, because we want people to listen. We don't want them to just give up on us.
Well, I'm going to jump right in to this consistency deal.
Oh, I like it.
I'm going to tell on myself. All right. So I made it podcast official, right? This diet thing that I was doing.
You did, yeah.
I failed.
Already hit. We're gonna be out of the month of January.
2 weeks in, and I suck.
Oh.
Yeah, I had 3 cake pops today. Today after service.
I was so mad.
They were really good.
Yeah, they were. And they made those, right? They didn't buy them that.
Abby and Brittany. Yeah, 2 of our youth. They rocked it, but. Yeah, I'm not being consistent with my diet.
Not at all, man.
Or my exercise. I bought weights.
That's the first step.
The most exercise I've had with them is
bringing them in the car. Bringing them in the house. Oh my goodness, that's funny, and equal parts funny and sad.
It is both. I'll give you that.
That's okay. Guess what? Tomorrow, start of the week.
It's a new day.
Start on Monday.
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
Which I haven't either. I told myself I was going to get back on it, and I started walking, a mile and a half every day. But then, one day turns into 2, turns into 4. So it's been a while since I walked. So I need to get back on that as well.
Well, my thing is the eating. I've quit smoking. I've quit drinking. I've quit. Just can't do it. I don't know why I struggle so much with food.
Well, I think it's there.
Yeah.
I think, and I know alcohol is kind of the same way. It's difficult for a lot of people because everywhere you go, it's there.
Right.
It's the same thing with food. It's just, especially when you get busy. It's like it's so easy to swing by McDonald's and just grab dinner.
Yeah. And that's another thing too. I mean, we get super busy doing what we do, and it's not an excuse. It's just a reason. Right. But there it is.
Oh, and even now, it's almost cheaper to do that.
Oh my gosh,
like McDonald's app, son, $12 feed the whole family. I can't go to Harps and get a gallon of milk and a box of cereal. Yeah, well, that's all my money.
Especially if you get the keto.
Right. Like, do y'all have dishes in the back I can wash? It's the grocery stores. No, we don't have dishes.
I'll put these eggs in layaway.
Right.
At Walmart. Yeah.
Like, I know y'all have 12 and then you have 6. Can I get 3?
Just need 1 meal.
Right. Say 2 for this one thing, trying to make something.
This episode is also not about dieting.
It's not about dieting. But it's about consistency, which is what started.
That's where I started.
Yeah, and I think it rolls over into all aspects of our life, ministry, whether it be dieting, whether it be, even like, I talked to this couple that we counsel, and it's like just consistency in being still dating each other after marriage.
Yeah.
Going out on dates, like, having the time to yourself throughout the week. And even that we're not consistent on.
Right. And it's a matter of taking things for granted.
Yeah.
Especially in a relationship, whether it's your relationship with Christ or your spouse or your kids, whatever it is, you're not consistent in maintaining that relationship. And it's got to go both ways. Your kids need to talk to you, vice versa, and your spouse or whatever. And you have to talk to Christ on a daily basis. But it is consistency. It's you got to maintain that relationship.
Yeah. I think many times we want it to just naturally come.
Right.
So when it doesn't happen, we're like, oh, well, it didn't happen. But it's like staying consistent is a reminding yourself to do it. It's not something that's just going to be natural. If it was natural, we'd all just naturally do it.
Right.
But it's not. It's something that you have to remind yourself to do. To be able to remain that consistent.
Yeah, and I heard somewhere some statistic. I'm great at math, but you have to do.
I don't think yes. I take that back. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said nothing. Statistics, that is math.
They got a whole math class.
They do. That's exactly right. I had to take it one year, and
apparently you forgot.
Apparently it wasn't a great class. I'm so sorry. If you're my college professor that taught that class, I'm sorry, my bad. I feel really bad. You did good. It was me. It's more me than it's you.
It's not you. It's me. So statistically speaking, it takes like 3 or 4 times of doing something for it to become a habit.
Yeah.
Whether it's a good habit or bad habit, and that's part of consistency is just doing it.
Yeah.
If you want to go to the gym, do it every day, 3 or 4 days. Now it becomes part of what you are, what you do. And same with church. And that's like, I missed church, I don't know, a month ago or whatever it was. Me and Jennifer went to Paducah for the weekend somewhere. Doesn't matter. But we missed church that Sunday, and it felt off. I felt off that whole week because that habit has been formed of going to church. So now I feel weird not going to church.
Right.
So people that say, well, I feel weird going to church, that's because you don't.
Right.
If you start going, you'll feel weird not.
That's good.
It's just a habit.
Yeah. And I know, especially for your family, y'all are really big on like, I know throughout your week, you're scheduled. Like almost everything is scheduled. Like, did it take y'all a while to kind of get in that? Was it like a point to where y'all just kind of started doing that, or was it something like, hey, we should really sit down and start doing this?
Well, it started. I mean, people know that our family's big now, but we've had 7 children in our home for our whole marriage. 15 years or whatever, because we raised 7 kids and then we started doing fostering.
Yeah.
So it has to be scheduled. Everything has to be. I mean, there's no way to run a household our size without schedules and doing it a certain way.
Yeah.
And that's my wife, Jennifer. Love you, babe. She gets so beside herself when our schedules are messed up, because it really does. It affects the whole week.
Yeah.
When we don't follow that schedule. But unfortunately, things happen where you can't keep that schedule all the time.
Right.
And that's you got to be kind of fluid with that.
Yeah. Well, I know really when I first started noticing that is kind of hanging out with the boys when they were still at home and, you know, talking to them like, hey, let's go hang out or whatever. And they're like, well, it's my week or my day to do this, this, and this. Right. I'm like, your day to do that. Isn't that just something that they kind of tell people like, oh no, it's like scheduled out. So they know like who does laundry, who does the dishes, who does that. I'm like, that is really cool. Cause we've been the exact polar opposite of that. You know, we just kind of handed stuff out as it came, you know, and that's something, especially in my life, that I've really got to work on is kind of getting more consistent with stuff like that, with scheduling, with, you know, thinking of things and getting things together ahead of time as opposed to just kind of doing them as they come.
Well, that, you know, that specific example, there may not be a right way, you know, that your way might work for your family,
right?
But for our size family, there's just no way,
right?
You know, and we do have chore lists, and I firmly believe that chores make a child more responsible.
Yeah,
I have no doubt in my mind about it, but that's just the way we are. But if it works for your family to do it a certain way, then by all means do it the way that works for y'all.
Right.
There's no right or wrong way to parent.
Right. Yeah, it's trial and error and just kind of, you know, doing things to the best of what you've got.
Right.
You know, because you know, your temperament is different from person to person.
Right.
But yeah, that's definitely something I really wanted to work on in my life. That's one thing I wrote down for like this summer that, you know, after I'm off for the summer from teaching, I'm going to be able to kind of sit down and get things lined up. And that's one thing. It's like really working on my schedule and getting in a routine of, okay, this day I'm doing this day I'm doing that, you know, and try to do that ahead, but still, like you said, kind of be fluid with, you know, if something comes up, because it's inevitably going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is, and especially with kids.
It is hugely beneficial to have a base plan, right? Yeah. For lack of a better word, just a basic game plan. Okay, this is what we're planning to do.
Yeah.
And then when something happens, it's like, okay, we can't do that now, but we're going to get back on it tomorrow. That's where you get messed up, is when, okay, something happens, so now the week's just messed up and we're just done. We're not going to do this anymore, and we're done, and we're not going to do it anymore.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah. And let's kind of use that same thinking in when you go into the ministry, because I know being in it for such a long time, you really see that inconsistency with people when it comes to ministry.
Right.
When it comes to, say, a class, teaching a class, and you do it for a while, and you start doing it, and maybe you're not getting the responses, or you're not getting the feedback, or you're just not getting what you thought it was going to be out of it. Instead of fighting through that, instead of pushing through that, what tends to happen a lot more than it should, is people just kind of give up on it.
Right.
Well, this isn't growing as fast as I thought it should.
Right.
This isn't what I thought it was going to be right now. I've done it for 3 weeks. Like, I don't know why I'm not getting the people. It's like, stick with it, you know, help grow this thing. It's not just going to happen over time. You know, you can't go and plant a garden and then go out the next day and be like, oh, I don't have any squash out here. Well, yeah.
How cool would that be, though?
That'd be awesome. Like Jack's Magic Beans. Like, stand there and wait 30 minutes or less. Here we go. Popping up out of the ground. I don't know.
Jack's Beans and Domino's Pizza. I don't know what's going on.
I was thinking Ninja Turtles. They're sitting there waiting. They're waiting. A wise man once said, never pay full price for late pizza.
That is your movie quote.
Oh, I love it, man.
Of the day.
But yeah, and what, especially you, like, you've led classes to where, you know, you really had to stick with it, especially when it's like, you know, an early Sunday morning class. Right. You know, it's hard to get people up and out. You know, what kind of did you had to tell yourself? Because I know there had to be days where you're just like, why am I even doing this?
Yeah. And that's, you know, when I taught the youth Sunday school class, youth they're a different breed, man. They're just, but yeah, it would be, you know, there'd be days it would be just me and you, you know, in the Sunday school class, and we'd have a class, you know, and that's where the consistency comes in. You prepare your lesson for this class. Yeah. And then nobody shows up to said class except for 1 or 2 people. You can either scrap the lesson that you spent all week and hopefully prayed about, and God gave you this message, or you can give the message that you were told that you were preparing to whoever is there.
Yeah.
That's the consistency part.
Yeah.
Is whoever shows up is getting this word,
Yeah.
is getting this class. And as you do that, people will catch on that you're giving something of yourself
Yeah.
to them.
Yep.
And they will, and it did grow. I would have 20 kids on a Sunday morning,
Yeah.
at
9 o'clock.
At 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's amazing, and especially when they start to get to know you and you get that good discussion going in your class. And it's, now you're looking at the clock. It's like, all right, guys, we got to wrap this up because we got to go to, regular church service. And that's what consistency gets you, is building that. It does not happen overnight. Nothing in ministry happens overnight.
Yeah.
Because you got to wait. Hey,
Hey, come on
waiting
now,
today
that's
in
what
your
I'm talking
sermon,
about.
boy. But that is a period of it. I mean, there's a reason that this stuff doesn't happen overnight. There's a period of waiting on purpose.
Yep. Oh, God will test you.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I've laid this on you. I put this in your heart. Let's see if you really stick with that or if you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Right.
Because God will put something in our heart, and then we'll twist that into something that, I get to be seen, or I get to be heard, or I get to make it this or that. So he'll test you, and he'll start you out with you looking in a mirror, and it's just you sitting there just week after week, like, all right, well, all right, God, I really feel like you lay, and it'll test that, man. It really will, to where you're sitting there, and to be able not only to give it to that one person, two people that show up, but to do it just like there's 200.
Right.
To do it no different.
Right.
I'm not going to dumb it down. I'm not going to make it something that it's not.
Right.
I'm going to give it just like, I don't care if it's 5 or 500.
Right.
I'm going to give it the same exact way, because that's when God says, okay, I see that you're consistent. I see that you're there for the right reasons. Go ahead. And what happens is you'll start to build it. And not only will you start to build it, but the people that have been there all along, they're more on board with it, because they've seen you in that season of nobody and in the season of, oh man, look how this thing has grown.
Right.
I know he's going to be here because I've seen him through all of this. Right. Not just kind of coming in 500 here. Oh, cool. I'm here. I am, everybody. It's like, that's great and awesome. Okay. But there's something to be said about a person that stays in their building. And not a lot of people do that.
Right. And
not a lot of people will come and do that.
And that's when you start seeing the rising up of leaders within that group.
Yeah.
They see the consistency of the class or the whatever. Now you've got people in that class that are like, I think I feel called to do this also.
Yeah.
So now you're expanding out and growing even beyond that original class or group. Yeah. And that's when it becomes really rewarding to be doing that. And you said something today in your sermon about waiting, and you was talking about how I serve people, and I do, and I'm going to need you to stop talking about that.
Nope.
But what you said was that during that period of waiting is when God is preparing you, and when that preparation is complete or being completed, that kind of stuff starts opening up. And I've started thinking about myself, and I'm like, man, we've got Men of Honor starting tomorrow night.
Yeah.
6 p.m. on Monday nights.
Yeah.
The men's group. But anyway, I'll be leading that class. We got this podcast. God is opening up ministries for me to be a part of that I wasn't even looking for.
Yeah.
And that is amazing to me that God can do that.
Yep. Just staying consistent, being there, being where you're supposed to be, and people seeing that and able to say, hey, I've got something for you. You're here all the time. I've got something for you. And then God will begin to open those doors, man. It is so frustrating watching people jump ship time and time and time and time and time again. It's so frustrating because it shows your heart, it shows your intentions, and it shows that you don't really want to lead.
Right.
You want to have ownership over something.
Right.
You don't want to lead it, because leading it is leading it all the time.
Right.
Ownership of it is having this thing and now, I'm in charge of it. Like, that's not going to get you anywhere.
Right.
You want to lead these people, and you can't expect people to be consistent in what you're leading if you're not consistent in the leading.
Right.
Like, it's just crazy to me, and it's so frustrating, especially in today's culture and today's internet instant sensation going viral. Everybody wants everything instantly right now. If it's not grown now, then I don't want to do it. And they'll look at this church or that church online and, oh, they got so many people. Oh, why can't we have that? You've been here for a month.
Right.
Like, what do you mean? Like, get to work and put some years in between you. Like, pay some dues. Like, get into work. You know, get down on your hands and knees, scrub some floors, or teach this class that nobody wants to teach, or do these small things that lead to something like that. These places didn't start out of nothing. You know, we talked about it the other day. You've got these huge mega churches that started in a garage.
Right.
Nobody sees that. All they see is, oh my gosh, they got all this stuff. This is amazing. I'd love to have that.
Right.
You wouldn't love to have that because it started in the garage. You wouldn't even make it out of that into a regular small building to get to that point.
Yeah.
Like, stay consistent in what you're doing, especially if you say, oh, I feel like God called me to do it. That is a dangerous, scary thing to do, especially for you to walk away from it.
Right.
Then no, he didn't call you to do that.
Right.
Either he didn't call you to do it, or you stepped away from what he called you to do. That is terrifying. Both of those things are terrifying. Mm-hmm. So if you're not consistent in what you're doing, one of those two things are happening. Either you stepped and you thought it was God and it wasn't, or you gave up when it was God.
Right. And that's so true, because it's, once God puts something in your heart, man, you have to walk in it. Like, you have to.
Yep.
Because, I mean, God puts that on your heart for a reason. And if you don't walk that out, there's that hole, that missing thing that you're not doing. And I always talk about the class that I taught after the youth Sunday school that really opened my eyes to being called to teach.
Yeah.
As you know, as a pastor, it was just an amazing thing. And I haven't taught a class since then.
Yeah.
So I've been just waiting for that opportunity, and now God's given me that opportunity. Yeah. So it's just being consistent and serving and doing what God wants you to do when it's time to do it.
Yeah. And I know that was one thing me and Jamie had a discussion. You know, we took that long break over a few months from this podcast, and she really sit me down one day. I was like, hey, what's going on with the podcast? Like, what's going to be, happening? I was like, well, I want to do it. It's just kind of getting together and figuring out, the behind the scenes stuff. It's like, I want to do it. I don't want to give it up, because I want to be that person that people depend on, that people know, oh man, he is staying consistent. He's doing it. He's coming in week after week, no matter what's going on in his life or what may be going on in his family, and just doing it. So just restarting it, even with the different shape that the podcast has taken, I really wanted to remain consistent in doing that, so that people know. They may just hear my voice. They may not know me personally, but they could say, I know this guy from listening to him, that he is consistent, that all this stuff's going on. He's got his own kids, and he's got his own job, and he's got a ministry, and he's got all these different things. But I know that in this podcast, he is staying consistent, because that is what it's about. You don't give up on something that you feel that God has laid on your life or laid on your heart. Is there going to be times where he moves you from season to season? Absolutely. But God is not a God of confusion. Right. He's not a God that's going to give you this one day or lay it on your heart and then all of a sudden go, oh, no, okay, over here. Oh, no, okay, no, not that, now over here. Okay, now jump over here. No, okay, now here. No, that's not God. Right. It's just not. So you see that pattern in people of jumping. It's like you are so inconsistent. Right. You don't know what God wants you to do. You're just trying it, and you're never going to step into what God is really calling you to do until you have that consistency. Right. Until you say, you know what, I'm going to push through this heavy season. I'm going to push through where things aren't moving at the speed I think they should be.
Right. And I think it's probably been that way forever. I didn't come to Christ till I was 38, so I didn't go to church all my life. But like you said, now in the age of Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and all this stuff, it's more obvious that people are doing this. Yeah. Because you put it out on Facebook, hey, we're doing this class. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, hey, we're not doing this class anymore. Like, what happened? Yeah. It's very obvious that this is happening now because of the age that we live in.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I get and I understand, some things just don't work. Sometimes we step when
Right.
We think it was God. God, I feel like you're leading me to do this, and it doesn't work. But we have to do a better job of saying, hey, that was me.
Right.
That's my bad.
Right.
That's my bad. Nobody does that.
Right. It's just,
They just jump. They just jump and then like want people to act like they're not standing here going, what? But you just, and then what happens is people see you and then now they know that you jump around like that and you say, oh man, it'll be something that you know is God. But now people are questioning you because they're like, yeah, but you said the other 5 times.
right.
And not once have I heard you go, hey, that was me.
Right.
That was my bad. Like, what happened to that? What happened to ownership and going, yeah, I went left and I should have went right and crap, that was me.
Well, that's, it comes back to accountability, which we talk about all the time. As a pastor, I feel it very important to guard my reputation.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want people thinking of me in any negative way.
Yeah.
That's why I'm very transparent. I don't hide what I go through. I don't hide sin. If you talk to me any amount of time, you'll know what I struggle with at any given point in time.
Yeah.
Whether you want to know or not, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
But that's very important to guard our reputation.
Yeah.
And whether it's as pastors, as just Christians, as churchgoers, as people, like, we just need to do a better job of holding ourselves accountable to a higher standard.
Yeah. You get ownership of, man, that was me. Sorry, guys. More of our leaders need to do that. Hey, I'm doing my best, but that was me. I messed up on that one.
And how hard is that? Like,
it's not.
Just to say, sorry. And who's really going to say, I can't believe you did that?
Right.
You
Well,
know?
and there will be some.
Yeah.
But usually it's from a crowd that's not even relevant to what you're trying to do anyway.
Right.
Most of the time, the people that are around you appreciate that and go, this is somebody that I can follow. This is somebody that I'm with. They mess up. They admit their wrongs. They don't blame it on anybody. They don't say, oh, this didn't work because of this or this or this. They go, that's my fault. That's my fault.
Yeah.
That's who I want to follow. That's who I want to lead me. That's who I want to be with, is somebody that takes ownership, somebody that steps up and says, hey, there's nothing better than a leader that'll step up and say, that's my fault, when it's not their fault.
Right.
But they take ownership of it anyway. Hey, that's my bad. Even though you're like, oh, well, so-and-so kind of messed that up. But they say, I should have been a better leader in leading them.
Right.
That's somebody I'll go to bat for all day long. That's who I want to work for.
Yeah. And we joke around all the time about me blaming you for this or that. But it's a joke. I don't blame anybody for anything that happens that I cause or whatever, but we do. We've got to do a better job at just saying, oops.
Yeah. I did it again.
Yeah. No, Brittany.
No. Okay.
Because it's just so important.
Yeah. Yeah. And and I promise you, people forgive. People, it's okay. Like, people they'll be there with you. They're not going to throw you away. They're not going to treat you like that. Will there be some? Absolutely. But again, most of the time, they're not the people that you really look for anyway, look for to really speak life into you. So, and I know, especially as a dad, this is something that I strive to do because I am so bad at it with everything else going on. So now me and Bubby, we've got a thing that we do every week where we try to play one-on-one every day. So we got this little basketball goal. So for those of y'all listening, we just been joined by my little boy Zeke. What's up, buddy?
Hi.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
How's it going?
Good.
So what we've been doing for me I really want to stay consistent, especially as Lee left.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh man, I want to really make the most of my time, even though, you're super busy. So what we've started doing is playing one-on-one every day, at least one game of one-on-one, and just spending that, 10, 15 minutes together, me and him. It's almost like the whole world just goes away. It's just me and him playing. So, I want to do that, and we've been trying to do that consistently. Like, he'll remind me, like, hey, we haven't played one-on-one today.
Right.
We haven't done this today. So how do you think that's going?
I think I've won the last time.
Yeah, I think you've won a few in a row, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like he's gotten really good. Like some of y'all know me. I'm very competitive and like,
Very,
I could kind of push him out of my way if I want.
very, very ridiculously competitive. Carry on.
Maybe. But he like legit beats me. I'm just like, dude, like,
Yeah.
okay. So like we, even one day we were like just training like on different moves and stuff. So he started doing some of those things because you wanted to kind of dunk all the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But now,
Last time I hit like 5 threes in a row.
yeah. So we have like almost like a 3-point area on the side and in the front, and then
I can't. I keep hitting your ceiling every time I shoot.
yeah, I know,
I'm
yeah,
so bad at it.
That's what we do.
yeah. Every now and then,
Yeah, like when you try to shoot a 3, it just hits the ceiling and you airball.
yeah. And then like
I
we do
airball without any help at all. I
just by yourself. Like, yeah. Well, what did we play? Horse, right? Me,
Yeah.
you, and Easton. It's really cool, that little goal, man.
Yeah.
It really is. And
You can count your score things and
Yeah.
stuff.
yeah, on the little counter or whatever.
yeah.
Do you think I'm doing a pretty good job at trying to do that with you every day?
Let me think.
Sometimes I know I get busy, right? And we don't.
Yeah, busy.
He just air quoted.
Well,
you
air
with
quote
the
busy. Like, what's something else that you think that we could do? As a son, as a kid, what's something that you think me and you could do together, just like every day, something that me and you can do,
I don't really know.
or like even me and mommy and you.
Zeddy's just left out, isn't she?
No, dang. No,
Poor
I mean just as a family, like what are some? Because we used to like it was Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
our nightly, every single night. That was kind of our time to get together, and me, Zeke, Jamie, Lee, and then Sissy will sit in there with us and like, I'm going
Watch.
for this part, yeah. And that was something we did every night to spend time together.
But now that Lee's gone in, we don't have a Switch that actually can switch.
Yeah, you just have your Switch Lite, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What's
Yeah.
something that you would like to? I know we do a thing where like I walk around like a zombie and I'll chase him.
Yeah.
You like doing that? Yeah. So I'll like
Walking Dead in the
yeah,
house.
yeah. So I'll like chase them back and forth and hide from them, and it's pretty
I
fun.
remember when we was playing Mario Kart, using first place, and then like 50 blue shells came at you.
So mad, man. It makes me so mad. Like, and it's always when Lee plays with us, man.
And then you like threw the controllers down and went in the hallway for a few like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because yes, dude.
You did
I didn't
not do that.
I didn't throw the control. I sat the controller down.
And went and pouted in the hallway for 10 minutes.
Dude, like I was, why are you laughing? There, are you happy now? Why are you laughing? So what happened is, I'm leading the whole race. 3 laps, leading the whole race. And I was so mad. Like, dude, I was so mad.
He's done. He can't straighten up.
So come last lap, come around the corner. Now it's a straightaway. So I'm like, all right, straightaway. And then you get a warning ahead of time, like, and it's a blue shell coming at me. Okay, it hits me, lifts me in the air. Like the finish line is like 4 feet in front of me. Hits me, lifts me in the air, and Lee goes right under me to the finish line. I'm just like, what? So I come down, I'm like, okay, I'll take second. And then like 4 cars, like, zoom, 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 zoom. I was like, I quit. I don't want to play anymore. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done.
And that's our story of Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And then it just ended all there.
Oh, I was so mad.
And then we played Mario Kart for a couple of nights.
Yeah. Mario Party, that was another one we did. Yeah.
Yeah, Mario Party's cool.
Yeah. What is it at your house? I know y'all like board games, right?
Yeah, well, again, you get busy, but I started reading Junie B. Jones books. To
Oh,
snap.
yeah.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's like a 5 or it's like a 10 chapter book or something.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a little small chapter book, but we would read that at bedtime, and then I'd read a Bible story right after it, and then we'd pray and then go to bed.
Yeah.
And we did that for a long time, and then I just now remembered that we stopped doing it. So talking about consistency, and I was like, wow, what happened to that?
Oh, that hit me right in the forehead.
So now I got to get back to that. Emma's, love you. We'll start that tonight.
Right back on it. Yeah.
But yeah, and it's so easy to get away from that stuff. But we like to try and find TV shows that we like, which is nearly impossible to find
Right.
a TV show that everybody watches. But I have to be a little more lenient watching some of the stuff my wife does with her because I don't like any of the stuff she watches. So I gotta do it.
Yeah, that's our big thing is
Don't get married. Stay single forever, Zeke.
I try to.
That's our big thing, like real big thing. That's me and Jamie's quality time.
One Tree Hill.
Yeah, is getting together and we'll watch. We usually do One Tree Hill once or twice a year, all the way through.
Y'all are crazy.
and then we've got most of the shows. We're pretty much on the same page,
Right.
on most of our shows. So we'll sit down and do that for sure. And we tried to once a week, usually on Friday, we try to do family movie night. So we'll watch a movie and order pizza.
You almost said rent a movie. Didn't
I almost said rent a movie. Oh man, I miss it.
Miss you, Blockbuster.
You what, bub?
I remember like a couple. It was in 2022, December something. It felt like we watched a movie almost every day.
Yeah, yeah. Where we got together, had like movie night.
Yeah, every single day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've been trying to talk Jennifer into. We've got that minivan that's got the DVD player and stuff in it.
Yeah.
I want to put all the seats down.
That would be cool,
out there,
and just lay
have
out there.
a movie
Oh,
night.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Just go like park somewhere where it's just like open sky. That'd be awesome. I like that. That's
I'm
good.
trying to get her on board.
That's good. I like that.
If I try to find a TV show, I just get bored and watch YouTube.
Yeah. Well,
I don't get the YouTube thing. Man.
I do. Like I get because I get caught.
dumb crap too.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
watch
Michael
stupid
Simmons,
stuff.
age 5.
Yes, that's right.
Age 5. That's funny. Yeah. Because I do it. Like you get caught up but like for me, it's usually stuff for like the church or like learning videos.
Right.
Which I get it. I get, with you, it's like video game videos,
It's
right?
like video games and like funny stuff.
Yeah.
Funny stuff.
So I get, and it will, and I know you're not talking, Rick. TikTok,
I haven't watched TikTok in a long time.
but when you did.
a little bit of a TikTok hole.
Exactly.
You can fall
Just
into.
hours, yep.
But
It's
when
like
you did.
When you did.
3 hours later, you're like,
Yeah. That's how it is
dark.
on there. Yeah. Like,
Man,
what happened?
If
Where am I?
If we're talking about TikTok, talk about mom.
Yeah. Uh-oh. She's going to hear this, right?
Yeah,
Eventually.
eventually.
That's so funny.
Don't know if she's going to stay caught up or not. But
Man,
she will
right.
hear it.
But yeah, definitely want to stay more consistent for sure. And it's all of us. I think we all fell in that aspect. It's something that we all have to work on and get better at.
Yeah. That's a fact.
as parents, as married couples, as ministry, all of those things, man. It's tough. It really is tough. And I think making sure you prioritize the stuff, it'll help. It'll help you stay more.
And that's
consistent.
a big part of it is just realizing what's important.
Yeah.
And putting that stuff first because I'm really bad at it now that I'm older. 45 to all you 40 somethings out there. I'm with you. Mike's not.
No.
40 somethings. But anyway, I'm a little older now, so it's a little tougher for me to do the stuff that I did when I was younger.
Yeah.
It's, hey, let's go outside and play ball. I'd
Right.
rather get beaten in the face with a brick. But
Right.
thank you for the invitation.
Right.
But that's why I'm fat too. So.
No, you just
Speaking of,
big boned.
He's going to tell the story about this.
yeah, yeah.
I knew it was going to come up. I knew it.
Like 2 days ago.
This is the story of why Zeke's going to come up missing. He's going to be on a milk carton. Y'all pay attention.
He was on a ladder, and then I was like, I got a good grade on my math test. I said to Dad, I think I only missed one. He said, nice. Richard on the ladder says, you know what my favorite subject was? Not math. And then
I don't sound like that.
That's how you laugh, though. And then I said, "Yeah, I bet your favorite subject is lunch."
Aced every test at lunch. Every one of them.
I did extra credit. All those.
I'm still studying. I've got advanced degrees in lunch.
Oh, that's so funny. A doctorate.
That's right. Call me Dr. Food.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Anything else on your heart?
Bubby, what do you got? You got anything else? Anything else on your heart?
I don't know. No,
Well, thank you for joining us, man.
you're welcome.
I love you. Tell our listeners you love them. Love their faces. Might not ever see their faces, but thank you for listening. All right. Yeah, go ahead, Rich.
Yeah. I was thinking about food. I'm sorry.
I know you.
I'm hungry. Anyway, so thank you for listening, guys. Check us out on remnantmalden.com. If you do not have a home church, our services are at 10 a.m. for regular service and 4 p.m. for youth on Sundays. And rate us on whatever.
We always forget that.
Yeah. Whatever podcast platform you use, please go on there and rate us. Give us a like and a subscribe. And we appreciate it. Love each and every one of your faces that we might never see.
But we hope we do.
Yes. Yes.